Welcome back to the Irish Bandit channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I, as always, am your host, the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit, and the year 2022 is coming to a close. So you're going to see a whole bunch of best of lists coming out the next little while. I decided I'm going to toss my hat in there and do a couple best of lists as well. I got the 2022 year in review coming up, but I want to talk today about the 5 best things that happened in professional wrestling in the year 2022. For you doom and gloomers, do not worry, because next week we're going to have the top 5 worst things that happened in professional wrestling in 2022. But let's start things off by talking about the good that happened. And there was a lot of good that happened in professional wrestling in the year 2022, be it in the WWE, AEW, Impact, New Japan, wherever. There was a lot of good that happened. And we're going to cover the top 5 things that I think were the best things that happened in professional wrestling in the year 2022. Now, we're going to start off with one of my favorite moments from one of my premium live events. I got to condition myself to stop calling them pay-per-views when we come to the WWE. But one of my favorite moments from one of my favorite premium live events this year, when at SummerSlam, it was the long-awaited return of the role model, Bayley. In 2021, Bayley was silent with an ACL tear that kept her out of action for almost a year, or probably about a year, until she made her return at SummerSlam this year. But she didn't come alone. She came with the returning Dakota Kai and Io Shirai, now called Io Sky, being called up from the NXT roster. It is so awesome to see Bayley back in action. While her booking has been questionable at best, come on. Last woman standing match, she was put in a ladder and shoved under a turnbuckle that a 3-year-old could get out of. I don't understand that. It's so great to see Bayley back in the mix. As of the recording of this video, this is being filmed the night before Raw. She's going to be taking on Alexa Bliss for the #1 contender spot for Bianca Belair's Raw Women's title. I think Bayley, I don't know if there's really anything left in the Bayley Bianca feud. I'll update something here because, like I said, the match is going to air after this video goes live, but I'll insert something. But I don't know. Either way, it's still great to see Bayley back in the WWE and just continuing where she left off, because everyone is thinking, oh, they should bring her back as a face now. And I think that time will come. I think that will come again when the fans will embrace Bayley once again. But right now, let her be a heel, because she looks like she's having a lot of fun with it. Speaking of having a lot of fun, oh my God, we are having so much fun with this. I don't want it to end, but I know it's going to. But it has been one of the best things on WWE TV, that being Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. Granted, when this started, I didn't think anything would come of it. It would be done in a couple weeks and that's it. But they have kept going and going, and it has been getting better and better, with Sami Zayn being part of the Bloodline, or an honorary Uce, as it's written on his shirt. That was one of the best segments of this year. And then they keep on topping that with another great one and another great one. As Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes like to say, banger after banger after banger after banger. You had when Roman stripped Sami Zayn of the Bloodline t-shirt and gave him the honorary Uce one. You had the Jay's Not Feeling Ucy segment where everybody broke. Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso was trying so hard not to break. Jimmy Uso, I'm sure, was. Solo Sikoa wasn't on camera, but I'm sure he was. I loved that one part in that segment where Sammy's just going off on Jey Uso. And it's like, the tribal chief said, man, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief says. The look on Roman's face was priceless. Oh my God. And then I thought the Survivor Series War Games match was really well done. Great story told within that between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, 2 former best friends. Sami never touched Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens never touched Sami either during the course of that match. But in the end, when it came down to Sami Zayn giving Kevin Owens the low blow and that Helluva Kick for Jay to get the win, in that match, and just seeing a unified bloodline, that that was the biggest pop of the night. And now we're seeing with Jimmy and Jay, and especially Jay and Sammy. I don't know what's going to happen this Friday on SmackDown when Roman Reigns makes his return, but after what Jimmy was saying, hey, trim your hair, trim your beard, and all that, it's like, oh, no, 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 I don't want this to end yet. I don't want this to end yet. But they have plans, and hopefully it keeps going from there, and we'll see what happens. But I am loving this. This is one of the best things on WWE TV. I'm genuinely loving it, and I'm going to be heartbroken when it comes to an end. When AEW talks about the four pillars of MJF, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, and Sammy Guevara, they have to be talking about the man who is holding those four pillars up right now on his shoulders. He is I guess you can call him the de facto leader of the Blackpool Combat Club, but more importantly, he has been the MVP of AEW for the year 2022. I'm talking about Jon Moxley. If they were to give out an award for Worker of the Year, the conversation would have to start with Jon Moxley. The man has put AEW on his back since All Out and hasn't looked back. Like, he was supposed to go on vacation after All Out, after his match with CM Punk. And after everything that happened at the end of All Out, which we'll talk about next week, Jon Moxley just kind of put AEW on his back. He put his vacation aside and just ran with the company until now, even. I was going to say until Full Gear, but he's even gone past that. I thought after MJF won the title at Full Gear, he would have gone away, done his vacation, and we wouldn't see him until the new year. But he's still been on AEW TV. He took on Takeshita on Rampage this past weekend. So the man just cannot be stopped. All the respect in the world to Jon Moxley. He is legitimately one of my favorite wrestlers. He has been since I saw him as part of the Shield 10 years ago. Wow. Near the end of his WWE run as Dean Ambrose, I don't think he ever got the fair shake he deserved, but he's getting it in AEW, and damn, that man deserves all the props and all the roses for just being the stand-up guy, taking the reins, being that locker room leader, and taking the company on his back and running with it as far and hard as he has so far. So hopefully Moxley gets his vacation coming soon, but man, keep it up. You're the worker's worker. One of the biggest things that happened in the world of professional wrestling in this year was the retirement of Vince McMahon. But where Vince McMahon stepped down, Triple H stepped up. I can't tell you for how long I've heard fans just cry out, when will Triple H be in charge of creative? When can Triple H have a turn at creative for the WWE? When's Vince McMahon going to retire? Well, 2022 was the year Vince McMahon retired, and we're going to talk about that next week as well. Oh, that was a big story, but we'll talk about that next week. Where, like I said earlier, where Vince McMahon stepped down, Triple H stepped up, and he stepped up big time. Within the first month of him as creative, we had Dakota Kai return. Io Sky got called up to the main roster. Karrion Kross returned. Tegan Knox has returned. It's just endless. And Mia Yim has returned as well. The OC, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson returned. Just all these people that Vince McMahon unjustly released during the pandemic, he is bringing back. Now, of course, there's going to be a few that aren't coming back, like, say, Keith Lee. He signed with AEW. But I think now with Mia Yim back in the WWE fold, we could have Keith Lee returning when his AEW contract expires. I don't know when that's going to be, but it could happen. You never know. But Triple H has just kind of taken control of everything and is trying to right the ship. It's not perfect, not yet. And I think I know for myself, I knew it wouldn't get perfect overnight because these things take time to turn and make everything go in a new direction. So there are probably still a lot of Vince McMahon things still in play. But one of the things that I am loving right now under Triple H is Austin Theory's new turn, because you had him as that obnoxious selfie-taking dweeb, and now he's got more of an edge to him, and I really, really enjoy that. I love that he's not coming out with the camera anymore and taking the selfies. He's more serious now, and you saw that when... Okay, this was a bad booking decision when he cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase on Seth Rollins in the United States title, when no one answered the open challenge he laid out. But we saw him at his lowest, and now we're seeing him on the rise again. So yeah, there was a lot of things going around saying that, oh, he's one of Vince McMahon's boys. He's a Vince McMahon pet project. Triple H is going to keep him down. I don't think so. That ain't happening. Austin Theory is on the rise, and you're going to see something from him in the next 12 months. I guarantee it. He is going to go on a reign of a lifetime as United States champion. And this one from talking about Triple H to talking about Austin Theory, but I got to talk about Austin Theory if I want to talk about Triple H. But either way, Triple H is going to right the ship. It's going to take time. It's still taking time because he only took over in July. So, and we're in December now. So July, August, September, October, November, 5 months. So by the time next SummerSlam rolls around, we're going to see a very, very different WWE in 2023 under Triple H. What did I think was the best moment of 2022? That's an easy one. For me, honestly, Triple H taking charge, that was a great moment. Bayley returning, that was an incredible moment. The moment for me, though, was when Cody Rhodes returned to the WWE after 6 years. In the beginning of 2022, we heard rumblings that there was dissension among the ranks of the executive vice presidents of AEW, especially between Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega. It was, from the sounds of it, it was driving a wedge between the four of them, to where you had Cody on one side, Omega and the Bucks on the other side, and caught in the middle was Tony Khan. Eventually, we got word that Cody and his wife, Brandi Rhodes, had left AEW. He had left his position as executive vice president. This is a company he helped build with Kenny, with the Bucks, with the backing of Tony Khan and the Khan family money. You figure that Cody Rhodes would be set for life with this position. Then the rumors started coming that Cody Rhodes was coming back to the WWE. It's like, oh, would he? After everything he did in AEW, kind of just putting the screws to Triple H, especially with in one of their first big pay-per-views, he came out with a sledgehammer and destroyed a throne with it. That looked very reminiscent of what something Triple H sat in. But it, the rumors persisted for so long. It's like, oh, it's a done deal. Oh, no, they're still working on some things. Oh, no, it's a done deal. Oh, no, there's still a couple things. Until we got to near WrestleMania time, and Seth Rollins didn't have an opponent for WrestleMania. It's like, Vince McMahon says, I'll have an opponent worthy of you. Oh, okay. Seth Rollins standing in the ring, wondering who his opponent is going to be, and then you hear, wrestling has more than one royal family. Chills, goosebumps. I was crying. I'm not, I'm man enough to admit when something is emotional in professional wrestling. So this moment was something else. And then him and Seth went on to have a series of 3 banger matches. And if Cody hadn't torn his pec before Hell in a Cell, my God, we would have seen something special. And if you watched Hell in a Cell, you saw how gross that looked when he took his ring jacket off and you just saw the purple in his chest, and it was like, why, Cody? And then he went out and had a 25-minute 5-star classic with Seth Rollins. What the hell, Cody? My God. So there's rumors swirling around that he might be back in time for the Royal Rumble. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see him win the Royal Rumble, but I do think we are going to see him back by WrestleMania for sure. I cannot wait to see what 2023 holds for Cody Rhodes. I can't wait to see what 2023 holds for professional wrestling in general. WWE, AEW, Impact, ROH, New Japan, hell, even the indies like Prairie Pro Wrestling, Best Entertainment Wrestling, Monster Pro Wrestling. I can't wait to see what the new year brings for all these great promotions, a couple of which I'm in league with, I'm associated with. So we're just gonna have to wait and see, and I cannot wait to see what 2020 brings for wrestling. But what did you think the best moments of 2022 were in professional wrestling? Let me know in the comments section down below. I'd really love to read your opinion on this one. While you're down there, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. In the description, you're going to see all the ways you can help support this channel. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and Reddit. You can pick up your Irish Bandit merchandise from my Redbubble shop. You can pick up your very own copy of my very first novel, Shade Falling, on Amazon through Kindle. And coming very soon, paperback versions of the novel will be available. More info on that in the weeks to come. And you can also buy me a coffee. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, tap the bell and you'll be notified whenever a brand new video goes live. We talked about the 5 best moments, in my opinion, in professional wrestling in 2022. Next week, we're going to talk about the 5 worst moments, in my opinion, of 2022. And that's going to be a hell of a list. Coming this next Thursday, this Thursday this week, I'm going to have a review of a brand new video game called Hush Hush from the makers of Crush Crush and Blush Blush and Cabin Fever. Doesn't have the same rhyme pattern. And be on the lookout for the year in review of 2022. And like I said, more info coming very, very soon about Shade Falling paperback. So until then, I will talk to you guys again very, very soon.